Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the card book crafter, and I'm in the craft room making a card for a very special friend who's got a spring birthday. So I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across a small channel called Scrap à la Vue. That is probably a really rubbish way of pronouncing it because it's a French channel and it was all in French, and she'd done it all in centimeters. So I had a look and I thought I can probably work that out in inches, which is exactly what I've done. So I had a play and I've made this template up. So what it is it's 4 inches by 4 inches, and then you open it that way and then that way, and then you've got another topper in the middle, and then it stands on the mantelpiece like that. So although it starts off as a little card, let's tuck that back in, a little card like that, by the time you've opened it up and stood it up, it's quite a nice mantelpiece filler, I think. So let me fold that back up. No, actually what I'll do is I'll leave it over there so I've got my measurements like that. So I'll pop that there and I'll show you how to make it. So you start off with the base is 2 pieces of card, so both measuring 4 inches by 8. Okay, so grab your scoreboard and your scoring tool, and I still can't find my Hoogie score tool, so I'm going to have to carry on using this one. So pop it in your scoring board, and this is such an easy card, and you're going to score at 2, 4 and 6. Flip it over and do it on the other side at 2, 4 and 6 again. Turn it to the side, grab a pencil, and just using your pencil do a little mark at the 2-inch mark there, or if you prefer, get your ruler out and do it. Turn it round so you're at the other end and do that again, and you're going to do that on both of them. So bring the second one in, let's score at 2, 4 and 6. Flip it over and again 2, 4 and 6. Turn on the short end like that. Get your pencil, little mark there where my 2 inches. Turn it to the other end and a little mark there where my 2 inches. And then pop your scoreboard away because we don't need that now. Now I'm not going to, well, shall I draw it? No, I'm not going to draw it on. What you're going to do is you're going to go from this, so you've got your first score mark there. So what you want to do is cut from the corner of that score mark there to that point, and the corner of this score mark here to that point, and you're going to turn it round and do it on the other end again. So from this point on the score line there and there to there, and you're going to do the same on that one. Let me grab my guillotine and let's quickly do that. So all I'm doing is lining up those 2 dots, so that and that one on there right on the edge, and bring that down. Then I'm going to do the other side there and there and bring that down, so I've got a nice point on that end, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this end. Take that over a little bit, and on this one like that. So we've got a point at each end like that, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. Now I'm going to grab my pencil because with my lights on I can't always see where the score mark is. Not so bad if I'm in the craft room without all of these bright lights on. But when I do have the lights on, it's not so easy. So let me just put a couple of marks there so I can see where they are, and do exactly the same. Put that under there, line those 2 points and cut, and again this side. I've got another point at this end, and then let's go to this end and do the same again. A little bit of concentration, so I've gone a little bit quiet, and the same at this end, like that. And do you know what, if you're not comfortable with your guillotine or your trimmer, then come in with the scissors and cut it. A little bit of these scissors are beautiful, but they're blooming rubbish. They were gifted to me, they were a Christmas present, and I think they're absolutely beautiful, but they're not very good, which is such a shame. But hey ho, let's put that back on. Okay, so once you've done that, you can get rid of all those triangles, or you can keep them and use them for another project if you want. Right, okay, so I'm going to use the rubber and just get rid of those marks that I've made. Not very visible, luckily enough. That one's gone completely. There, and that one. And the same at these ends. So, right, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold them. So concertina fold them like that, making sure they're nice and straight. That one's a little bit on the wonk. So let's have a play with that, get that straight. Using that, fold that over. What we're doing with concertina, folding them so that when you're finished they look like that. Same with this one. Let's fold that over. A little bit of a mark there, but I'm going to cover that up in a minute. Let's fold that over. That one's straighter, so we're happy. Okay, so that's that one. So we've now got two with that sort of fold on it. So what you're going to do next is fold, have them side by side, and then fold those two in like that, and then butt them up together like that, and use something like a washi tape, or this is quite a paper tape, just to hold them together like that. For now, let's move that out of the way. That just holds them together while we work on this side. Now I'm going to bring my pencil in because I can see those pencil marks are on the points there. So I didn't get those, did I? Did I get these ones? That one's fine. And that one's got a tiny little bit. So just get rid of those like that. Okay. And what we're going to do now is cut yourself 3 pieces of card. Now these I've done in the matching card. So you want 3 squares that measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So these are 2 3/4 each. Grab your glue, and you're going to glue them on here across these 2 bits there, and that's what's going to hold them together. So those will go on that like that, and that's what makes the magic happen. It then looks like you've managed to put a piece of card on one continuous long piece. So put your glue on, and it doesn't matter whether you put it on this or whether you put it on your, you know, your squares like that. just enough to hold it. Then line it up so that it's diamond shape, and then line that all up with your triangles underneath. There we go. And then bring your bone folder in. Make sure you've got contact all the way through, like that. And I like to turn it over and do it from this side as well, just so as I've got it all the way through. So there we go. So that's our first one done. Then we're going to do exactly the same on these two. So I'm going to glue a piece there, and I'm going to glue this one on there like that. So again, I'm just going to pop some glue on this triangle bit. Make sure I've got plenty on. I want to go to the edges as well, so I don't want it to lift. Okay. Bring that in and just line it up. I line it up with the point at this end so that it's nice and straight like that. Whoops. Like that. And again, bring your bone folder in and push that glue into your card. And do it from the back as well, so that we've got good adherence. So that's that one done, and I'm going to do the same to this end. So just what you want to do is to make sure that you're doing the glue on that. So fold it over like that. Make sure you're doing it on that side, or like me, I just hold it like that so that I know I've got the right side. Get all of that on there, and then again line up your points. So this point on that square with this point on your triangle, line them up like that. It's wet glue, so you can have a play just to make sure it's nice and straight on there, which this isn't. I've just flipped that out of the way. It's slipping. So I've done the first one. That was nice and easy, so of course this one's going to play up. There we go. I'm going to use my bone folder to push that glue into it. Oops, it's lifted there. Let's just push that back. Have I got glue there? I don't think I've got enough glue there. Let's put a little bit of glue both. And this is quite a textured card, so it can be a little bit fiddly to get the glue to stick. Right, there we go. That should stick now. Okay, so there's the base of my card. Just going to give it a minute to dry, especially this end, which I've just done. Okay, so let's give that a second. Right, now next piece you want to do is you want to grab yourself 6 pieces of patterned paper. Now these measure, let me just double check for you, 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and these are going to be your panels in there like that. So I did toy with the idea of that way round. I'm still not entirely sure what I think. Let me just bring in the toppers I'm going to use as well and see what I think. So I want Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the dark green. Let me pop them back and I'll talk about those in a minute. I'm just going to fold all of those out the way so that I can glue these down. So just a spot of glue. Now you can, if you want, mat and layer these. So if you wanted to, you could have a mat that is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then put a layer of patterned paper over the top at 1 1/2 and 3 1/2. But I'm going to keep this fairly simple. 2 reasons. One, I might put it in the post, depending on whether my friend is able to come out. She works shifts, and I'm not quite sure what shift she's going to be on the run up to her birthday, and whether it matches in with my shifts. That's the problem, you know. And she works weekends occasionally as well, so let's pop that one on there. And when I'm lining this up, I'm looking not just at lining it up on here, but lining it up with paper next to it. Okay, so that's those 2 done. Open it up and then flip that one. Flip that one under so that I can work directly on these, and do exactly the same with these 2. Yeah, so I may have to just pop it in the post, or maybe take a trip up to hers and pop it through her letterbox if we don't get a chance to have a boozy afternoon before her birthday. Let's pop that one down like that. And so we did have a chance to catch up just, well, literally popped flying visit just before Christmas with presents and cards, and then we had a lovely afternoon just into the new year. So it's about time we had another catch up. Phone calls and messenger catch ups are not quite the same as actually seeing each other, are they? So let's pop that one over this side like that. You want 6 in total, because you want 4 for the front like that, and you'll want 2 for the back. So I'll just pop those to one side. They're exactly the same measurements as these ones. Let's finish with the front first though. So you'll also want now a mat that is 2 1/2, and then a topper. Now these are large toppers that I've cut down, and these measure 2 1/4, so you're layering it up like that. So I'm going to pop these on. So this is the other side, so it's the same green. I don't know whether to go with that side. Well, that actually looks quite nice. I thought it'd be a bit much, but I'm actually thinking that might actually be the better. Might be the better side in the long run. Let's pop that one there and that one there. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to go with the green side rather than the white side after all. Yeah, because that's a bit pale, isn't it? So yeah, I think I'll stick with that side. So let's glue this down first, because I'm not sure which order I'm putting the toppers on. That's the other thing. So there's one. So I can lay these down easy enough, because they're exactly the same for all 3. So I'll lay these down, and then I'll have a look at the toppers and see which order I want to pop them in. So one's got a house on with some sunflowers. The other one is like a church scene. I'm concentrating again, so I've gone quiet again. One's a church scene and the other one is flowers, so I don't know how to pop them. Let's get this down and then I'll have a look. Which one do I want to be on the front and which one do I want to be the main focus is the question, really, I suppose. So that one goes on there. And we're nearly finished. This is, like I say, this is a really such a simple card, especially considering how it's kind of, it's not an illusion card, but it kind of fools the eye a little bit. So those are the three that I want to pop on. So do I want that one in the middle? And then those two to the side. I think, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So these are 2 1/4. The mats I've just put down are 2 1/2, and I'll put all the measurements in the description box below. And I'll also, if I can find the video again, I will put a link in the description box below to oh gosh, what was her name again? Oh gosh. I was never any good at French at school. Scrap à la vue, I think, or something like that. Anyway, like I said, I was rubbish at or that's the way it should go. I was rubbish at French at school. I was rubbish at every language. So they did try us with Spanish, but we're focused mainly on French. I think there was a little bit of German as well with some of the more what shall I say, gifted children, which was not me. So I wouldn't be surprised to hear that I dropped languages in my 3rd year at secondary school, when we did our choices, when we had to choose which lessons to focus on. I dropped languages because I was so rubbish. So yeah, so scrap à la vue or scrap au velu. Yeah, well, I'm probably murdering it. So. Right, so that's the front of the card done. So let's flip it over and do the other side. So we've got our bit of sellotape there, and you can take it off if you want to. I'm going to leave it. So remember these 2 pieces that we had? I'm going to glue these one at each end, and these are non-directional, so I'm not worried about which way it's going to go. So one there like that, and one at this end. If you wanted to, if they bother you, you could cut yourself a piece of card measuring 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then cut it in half, point to point, and then add them there. If it bothers you, it does not bother me, so I'm leaving them. Right, so that's that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, and I will have to double check which way round this is. Yeah, so that's the way it goes. So when I flip it over, that's the bottom, this is the top. So what I've done, and I don't know how this is going to work out, and I'll be totally honest with you, I need somewhere to write on the back. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of the green that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, a piece of the cream card which measures 3.5 by 3.5. I've added a happy birthday, and then I've just cut it in half, because what I want to do is pop it on there like that, so it looks as a whole piece, but it needs to be able to bend, so that when you pop it on the oh gosh, mantelpiece, this piece bends in to hold it straight. to hold it, so it needs to bend there. So I thought, rather than try and fit a piece that then is going to keep bending, I'm just going to cut it in half. Let me double check the right way again. Yeah, so it's the right way to me this time. So this is the bottom, this end. So I'm just going to glue those on, and hopefully that's going to work. So we'll see. We will see. If not, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. What I was thinking, if it doesn't work, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go really close to that that fold there, and I've left that piece of tape there because I don't think I'm going to see it, and it just gives it a little bit more stability there. So a bit of glue on this side as well, and glue that down the other side. Yeah, so what I was thinking is, if it doesn't work, then I'll get 4 of these for the back, and then put one with a to and one with the from, so that it's, you know, like 2 separate pieces. But I did quite like the idea of having it as one. But then when I realised actually that wasn't going to work, I'm going to bring this a bit closer to me just so as I can see it. Okay, let's straighten that up a bit more. There we go. So there is a little bit of a gap, but hopefully not enough that it distracts too much from the fact that that says happy birthday on there. So I'm going to go over a couple of times with my bone folder, because this is going to have some movement in it, like that. Okay, so that now is the back, where I can write to and from, and then if I flip it over, that's my front. Last thing I want to pop on there is, this says friends, flowers for a friend, and I want to pop that there like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back in the middle of that, because obviously I don't want it to glue to the whole lot and glue it all down. So that goes there like that. I'm just holding it for it to grab, and then that then is my finished card. So what do you think? I think these are really cute, and I could get behind making quite a few of these, I think, because I think they're going to be really, you know, on the mantelpiece. If I stand it up like that, that works really well for me. And actually that seems to work well as well, because when you stand it up like that, if I hold my fingers either side, it just kind of brings it together. So there you go. I'll leave all the measurements in the description box below, but they are incredibly simple. Yeah, have a go, let me know, and do pop over to Scrap Avalou and see how she does it with the centimetre measurements. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that you'll consider hitting the subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up and even a comment. What do you think of this card? And hopefully my friend will like it too. So fold that over like that, and there's my card finished, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.